All right, men, welcome to today's episode of Strong Men, Strong Marriages, how to feel truly happy in your marriage. So, it's within your power. That's what this is about today, and how you can really have that. You absolutely can. So, my voice is a little bit scratchy. I did a jujitsu class last week, a couple weeks ago now. And they did like these choke holds and it hurt my neck. And I think that's what's going on. I don't feel sick or anything. Um, but I might be coughing a few times through this today. I'm glad I did that. It was awesome. Just to kind of test my strength against somebody else. I'm really glad I did it. It was a cool thing. But anyway, back to this. My name is Mike Frazier, MD. I'm a psychiatrist and marriage coach, and I help high-achieving men have more intimate marriages. So, and that might change a little bit. As I'm working through this, that's what I've been doing. That's what we start with is, helping improve relationships. It's overall relationships. It's about relationship with, like, what am I trying to do in my life? Lots of iterations, but where I'm at right now is I want to have a great relationship with God, with myself, with my wife, with my kids, and with my business, with my work, right? If I have that in relationships with friends and things too, if I have those great relationships, like, I have a great life. And so I'm working to do that and really helping men do the same thing. Great relationship with God, with themselves, with yourself is so huge, and it starts there. When you have that good relationship with yourself, everything else just goes a lot better. And we're talking about that some today, how to be truly happy in your marriage. You can actually choose that. It's a great thing. But anyway, just kind of as a sort of future, if you've been listening for a while, kind of where we're going is really, and it's part of it's just describing it in a new way of really building all those different relationships and finding joy in those relationships with God, with yourself, with your wife, with your kids, friends, everybody around you, and with your work, your colleagues, your business, all of that, your clients, right? So right now, you're probably listening to this because you're not as happy as you'd like to be with your marriage. And even if your marriage is pretty good, if you just want it better, right? You just want to be even happier. You want to have even more connection, more intimacy. Okay. So a lot of the problems I work with guys with is there's less sex in your marriage than you'd like. That was a big issue for me for a long time. You feel just kind of overall disconnected, like your roommates. You're just kind of business partners, but there's not that real passion, spark, intimacy. Maybe it's gone further. Maybe you're separated now, or maybe there's been infidelity, or maybe you're in the divorce process. Maybe you've already even been divorced. So for most of you, and this is common thinking, like this is how we all probably have been trained to think, is you think what has to change for you to be happy is your situation. Okay. You want to have more sex in your marriage. You want to be more connected. You want to that separation to end. You want to overcome infidelity. You want to stop the divorce. Okay. But what I wanted you to think about for a minute is why. Why do you want more sex in your marriage? You might say, Mike, come on. Like, of course I want more sex in my marriage, but why? Right? Think about it for a minute. Or are you feeling like your roommates? Why do you want that to change? Or you want the separation to end, but why? You want to overcome infidelity, but why? Right? And you might say for the separation, or you want to stop the divorce. Why? You might say, well, there's the financial consideration, but for most guys, that's not, it. But even with that, like, let's say you want to save the money, but why? Right? Why do you want to save the money? So go kind of deep with that. Ask yourself, do like the fivefold why, right? So what you'll get to really is, so let's say, I want more sex in my marriage. Well, why? Because I want to have that connection. Well, why? Because I want to feel loved, right? Or I want to end the separation. But why? Well, I want to have my wife back. Why? So that we can have that connection, so we can be together, so we can have a life together. But why is that important? So I can feel fulfilled in my life. Okay. What I want you to notice is, if you ask yourself enough times why, it's really, we want to feel something. Okay, that is it. We want to feel connected. We want to feel happy. We want to feel loved. One of the business mentors I'm working with right now helped me notice that, that really it's not so much just about having sex more. It's not just about, our wife appreciating us more, respecting us more. It's because we want to feel a certain way. Okay. So, when I was really focused on, I just want my wife to have sex with me, or I want to have a better sex life, right? The feeling that I wanted, besides, there's a physical pleasure, of course, that comes with sex. But beyond that, right, it was I wanted connection and love and intimacy, and I wanted to feel valued and valuable to her. That's the feeling that I wanted. Okay. And with the men I've worked with, they want similar things, right? They want to feel loved. They want to feel valued. They want to feel respected. They want to feel admired. They want to feel happy, connected, intimate, love, right? That's really what this is about. So, but again, how do we try to do that? We try to change our situation, right? We try to talk our wife into having sex with us more, right? Telling her, look, honey, I just want to feel better. So can't you just have sex with me so I can feel happy and connected to you? And she's like, I guess. Or she's like, no. Because, she could have sex with you. Maybe you feel okay for a while, but then, you start not feeling as okay, right? Oh, she didn't have sex with me again. Now we're not connected. Now I'm not happy, right? And so that's a mosquito way of life, right? We try to get our value, get our sense of worth from our wife through sex or through other things, through her appreciating us, things like that. So either we talk to her and we just like ask her directly, hey, I want to have sex with you more so I can feel good. Or we kind of go about it indirectly. This is what I call the mosquito cycle, where we do these nice things for her. We buy her stuff, we help around the house, we, do whatever. But behind that, it's because we want her to have sex with us, right? We want her to come back, right? If she's already separated or you're near a divorce, you want her to come back. So you're doing these nice things with that in mind. Okay. It ends up being manipulative, right? And it doesn't work, right? It's manipulative, it's selfish. Your wife knows it. Okay. But just remember, the point of this podcast is remember why you're doing all this. It's because you want to feel a certain way. You want to feel connected to her. You want to feel loved. You want to feel valued. Okay. You want to feel valuable. What I need you guys to understand is the reason we try to change our situation is because it's a misunderstanding of where feelings come from. Okay. Remember, the goal is to feel loved, it's to feel connected, it's to feel intimate with your wife. So, like, I remember when, my wife and I were not having sex often, and I was really upset about it, really frustrated. But there were also times when things were going really well, where we were having sex often. And at first, I felt great about it. But then, strangely, eventually I started to feel not as great about it, right? I started to feel unappreciated. I started to feel disconnected. I started even, looking at other girls just as much as I was before, which sounds crazy, right? But I got what I was hoping for. I got frequent sex with my wife, but I didn't get that feeling that I was hoping for. I didn't get that feeling of connection and love and intimacy, right? I was still looking for it other places. So what was going on here? I thought I got what I wanted. And a lot of men, they experience a similar thing, either in relationships. Oh man, my wife came back, but I'm still like, I still feel kind of disconnected from her. Or, we're having sex now, but we're not as connected. Or with other goals they reach. Well, I made as much money as I thought I would make me happy, but I'm still not happy, right? So again, it's a misunderstanding of where feelings come from. Feelings don't come from a situation, okay? They come from thoughts. Feelings come from thoughts. That is a great secret of the universe. It's one of them that I learned from a lot of my training, but was expressed to me probably most clearly by Brooke Castillo at the Life Coach School, and Jody Moore, who's kind of one of her followers, that helped me really understand this connection at a deep level, right? And I've kind of rediscovered it for myself recently. I want to share with you today how powerful that can be for you. It's been super powerful for me these past couple of weeks. So feelings come from thoughts. They don't come from situations. Okay. So sometimes it seems like they come automatically from situations, but really, those are just kind of unconscious thoughts. or just thoughts that have run so many times that they seem automatic. Okay. So, for example, if someone gives you $1,000, right, you might feel happy, right? But it's because you have thoughts that help you generate that. So the thought is, oh, like I can go buy something that I wanted, right? And that helps you have a feeling of anticipation and excitement and happiness, right? Um, Now, it's possible that there's a person in this world that if they were given $1,000, it would generate something negative for them. It would generate a negative feeling because of experiences or things that had happened to them. So let's say that someone hands them $1,000, but that reminds them of the time when their dad died, and going through his possessions when they gave the person like they gave him the $1,000, but it was their dad's $1,000 that he died, and that's like all he had left to give. So when they hand that $1,000, the thought that runs through their head is, oh, I'm remembering when my dad died, right? And then the feeling is sad. So the $1,000 itself didn't generate the feeling of sadness for the guy whose dad died, and it didn't generate the happiness for the guy who just kind of was excited that he could maybe go spend the money, right? It was the thoughts that generated those feelings. Okay. So I want you to think about, if you listen to last week's episode, we talked about this, but this is the key point, right? When you're trying to improve relationships, whether that's with God, that's with yourself, that's with your wife, that's with your kids, that's with your clients, that's with money, right? It can even be with things, right? With clothes, whatever, right? I probably need to do some work on that. I for sure do. But your relationship is just your thoughts and feelings towards that person or towards that thing, right? When we're talking about marriage, it's your thoughts and feelings towards your wife, and you can say it's her thoughts and feelings towards you. But I need you to ask yourself this, right? Which one of those do you have control over? Let's just talk about your wife right now. Do you have control over your thoughts and feelings towards her? Okay. Hopefully you're saying yes, you do. But do you have control over her thoughts and feelings towards you? You do not. Okay. You do not have control over that. And the more you try to control it, the worse things are going to get. Okay, I promise you. That's what the mosquito cycle is about. You're trying to change her thoughts and feelings about you instead of you working on changing your own thoughts and feelings towards her and towards yourself. Okay, that's the big problem. So, and what happens when you try to control her thoughts and feelings? Okay, it drives her away because she feels the manipulation, she feels the control, she doesn't like it. Okay, so you got to stop doing that. So, I want you to really consider, take a minute if you're driving or whatever, remember this for later, or pull over for a second, or if you're in a place where you can just kind of stop, just really answer this question. How do you feel towards your wife right now? What are your feelings towards her? So, and look a little bit deeper. So right off the bat, you might think, oh, I don't really feel anything. Or you might think, no, I love my wife, right? But go a little bit deeper, because if your wife's not having sex with you and you are really trying to do everything to get that, really the feeling's probably anger or resentment. Or if she's separated from you, right? You're like, this isn't fair. Okay. And you're probably feeling mad about that. If she's divorcing you, you're like, man, I tried so hard and now she wants to leave. I can't believe this. You're probably feeling angry. Okay. So, and then I want you to really think about, well, what thoughts or beliefs are generating that for you? And probably, again, it's this sense, this idea that things are not fair, right? I'm putting so much in, I'm not getting back what I want, in all of these situations. Or even if it's infidelity, if you were unfaithful, maybe you can kind of see her point of view. But even then, your thoughts are probably still like superior to her, or kind of like, I want to save it and she doesn't. Why can't she think about the kids, right? She's so selfish. So again, that's anger directed towards her. Okay. So the problem with this, right, is a lot of guys, they'll kind of harbor these feelings, but they will act really nice. Okay, they'll act friendly. They'll buy their wife gifts. They'll send their wife notes. They'll do all the checklist things that they think they're supposed to be doing. Okay, and they think, well, maybe if I do this right, she'll come back, or or maybe that can even change the way I feel. But the problem is you're out of integrity, right? We talk about something called the state fair model, right? Where your situation, something that happened, thoughts, feelings, what you do, why you do it, and then the results. So what a lot of guys will do is they'll have this thought like, and you have to go a little bit deep. And that's what coaching helps you figure out, right? Is let's go a little bit deeper and figure out what the real thoughts are here and what the real feelings are. So they're really angry at their wife, but then they go out and buy her something. Okay. And then she's not appreciative. And then the anger comes out, right? When they don't get the result they're hoping for. But really the anger was there all along. That's what I'm trying to point out here. Okay. And that's why it doesn't work, because your thoughts and feelings are out of integrity with your actions. You need to line all those up, because when you're out of integrity, it's not attractive. You're false. You don't feel very good about it. You're kind of like, well, yeah, I guess I'll do it, even though I really don't feel like it. And I feel like it's unfair. I guess I'll do it anyway. Maybe something will come back to me. Maybe she'll come back. Maybe we'll have sex. It's all out of integrity. Doesn't feel good. She doesn't like it, right? Doesn't work. So what do you do instead? So again, here's the power. Here's how you can feel genuinely, truly happy in your marriage, right? Or loving, or whatever it is you want to feel. That's the cool thing. You can kind of choose how you want to feel towards your wife. So just decide, how do you want to feel towards your wife? Okay, for me, I want to feel loving. I want to feel connected. A big one for me was connection, actually. When I thought about this, I want to feel connected to her. I want to feel happy with her. I want to be able to have fun with her. Okay, those are the feelings I want. So now what I did is I kind of worked backwards. Okay, what thoughts are going to create those feelings for me, of feeling loving, connected, and happy towards her? So for me, some of the thoughts were things like, my wife cares about me. Again, these are things you have to believe, right? If you don't believe these, you're already, the rest of it's not going to work, because it's not going to generate the feelings that you want. You found a good thought when it generates the feeling that you want. Okay, so if I want to feel loving towards my wife, right? One that helped me is my wife cares about me. I believe that 100%, right? So that makes me able to feel loving towards her. She'll do the things I ask her to do, right? She really does. If I ask her directly instead of being mosquito like I tend to, right? She'll pretty much do it. We have fun together. I totally believe that. I wouldn't choose anyone else to be the mother of my kids, 100%. So even as I'm saying these, right, I feel, wow, like my wife's amazing. I love her. I'm blessed to be with her, right? Like I feel those feelings, okay? I feel love. I feel connection. I feel happiness. I feel grateful for her, okay? So when I feel this way, guess how I act, okay? How do I act towards my wife? I show up and I actually listen to her. I'm like, oh, like, I want to feel connected. Another thought that helps me is like, my wife's been through a lot of hard stuff, which she has, and I want to be there for her, which I do, right? And so when I have that kind of thought, it generates a feeling of compassion, of understanding, okay? It's like these past couple weeks, as I've walked around with these thoughts and feelings towards my wife, like she's opened up to me way more than she has in a long time. Why? Because I'm walking around with those feelings, right? And so naturally, when she starts talking to me, now I'm listening, right? And I'm not listening to, see if I can convince her to have sex with me. I'm listening to her because, hey, I want to feel connected with her. And this is a great chance. Like I can listen to her and we can connect. Okay. Or I just, kind of think through what her day is going to be. And I think, okay, like, is there something I can do to help her? But why am I doing that? Because I actually feel love towards her. Okay. So again, I already feel that love, right? I'm already there. I'm not trying to get it from her. You see the difference, right? I feel good. My intentions are pure. I want to connect with her, right? Because I already feel loved. I already feel connected. I already feel connected in a way, because I'm like, okay, I love my wife. I want to know about her. I'm interested. I'm curious, right? And so she senses this. And again, she opened up to me so much more these past couple weeks. Emotionally, we felt connected, and then even we connected physically, right? The physical connection was really a natural result of that emotional connection that we created, right? Through the week. And that's typically what will happen, right? Is if you genuinely love your wife, if you genuinely care about her, if you genuinely want to connect with her, right? Usually she's going to respond by opening up more, and you'll be able to connect more. So What do you need to be able to do this? Okay, you need the ability to decide what emotions you want. Okay, now to be able to decide the emotions, you kind of need to be able to recognize those emotions in your body. Okay, so when I feel loving, can I recognize it? When I feel gratitude, can I recognize it? When I feel angry, can I recognize it? When I feel resentful, can I recognize it? Right, because that will give you the clue. Okay, my thoughts are off. And a lot of times when you'll sit there in those emotions, the thoughts will start coming. Right. And when you're in those either positive or negative, it's really good to just be there with them and then start jotting down kind of the things you're thinking, because that'll give you a clue. Either if you're feeling good, oh, these are thoughts I can use, right? These are thoughts I can use to put me in that good spot. Or if you're feeling negative, oh, these are thoughts maybe I need to look at and do something different with. Okay. So again, you need to be able to recognize your current thoughts and emotions. And then you need the ability to change and choose thoughts that generate the emotions that you want. Okay. Now, this is what I do. I'm good at it. I can help you learn these skills. I'm still doing the work myself, as you can see, right? I'm in it with you, but I also have the skill of being able to help you do it because I've done it myself and I've helped other guys do it. Okay. And I'd love to continue to provide feedback to help you discover these thoughts, because new thoughts pop up all the time. You find one and then, you find another one, right? You have another emotional reaction to something that's kind of like overboard. Like I've talked a lot about being angry at my kids and how during sports and how that really led to a great breakthrough a couple of weeks ago as I sat with those feelings. So, a lot of times you need that feedback, right? As you discover thoughts, oh man, or you're like, no, I've got it. And then things aren't still going the way you want. Something's still off. So you need some help to get that back. That outside perspective is extremely valuable. As I've invested in my own coaching development, it's been huge. It's been a big help. And I'd be happy to help you with that as well. So, in summary, men and women, they want to feel happy. They want to feel connected. They want to feel loving in their marriage. But they generally go about that by trying to change things outside of themselves, like their wife or their situation. Um, but instead, what you need to do is discover your current feelings about your wife and see if they're what you actually want. In fact, no, I love my wife, but go a little deeper, right? You're probably mad at her if things aren't going the way you want. So you just need to address those, right? Let yourself feel those and then actually choose the thoughts that create the feelings that you want. Well, I want to feel loving. Okay, well, like what thoughts and beliefs are going to get you there? And again, if you want help with that, I'm happy to help you with that. Okay. Reach out to me on my website. It's dr.mike at mikefrasermd.com, dr.mike at mikefrasermd.com. Okay. So again, when you choose the thoughts and feelings you want to feel, the loving connection that you already feel with your wife will create the happy relationship that you desire, because you're already feeling loving, happy, positive towards her. Okay. You've already won at that point. And now she sees it, she feels it, your actions are all lined up. And now she opens up to you physically, mentally, emotionally. She knows you're there for her, that you care about her, right? That you're not trying to just get something back from her. That's when the magic happens. That's when your marriage can be amazing. All right, guys, stay strong. We will see you next episode, and reach out if you'd like help developing these skills and really creating a genuinely happy, intimate marriage.